Maybe, but that doesn't explain Mrs. Beaumont's involvement with Mrs. Cruz.
What do you mean?
I found a chest in room 507. I think it can only be opened by turning 2 keys at once. I found one of them in Mrs. Beaumont's things.
Oh, and the other one?
Well, I remembered seeing a similar key in one of Mr. Morgan's stocking pictures, so I went back to check. Mrs. Cruz wears it as a pendant. It looks identical to Mrs. Beaumont's key.
Wait, so Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz own identical keys that are both needed to open a mysterious chest? Yeah, there's definitely something going on here.
I think Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont might be the ones having the affair.
That's an interesting theory. Did you find any clues that might support this?
Nothing concrete. I mean, I did find a letter that suggests they may have gone to college together, but they could just as well be good friends, right?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
I guess we'd know for sure if we could have a look at that chest, but I don't think I'll be able to open it.
Well, hold on. I may have an idea. Get me a candle and some plaster, and maybe I can do something about that pesky chest.
How?
I'll tell you later. Just find me those things and I'll meet you in the basement as soon as I manage to leave my post.
All right. Thank you for not giving up.
Come on, you know I wouldn't let you down.
Plaster and candles. Well, half the hotel's under renovation. I should be able to find plaster somewhere around here. Great! This takes care of half of this little scavenger hunt. As for the candles, doesn't Rebecca keep some in her locker downstairs? It's locked. Fine. Keep your secrets locked. People don't usually leave these unlocked.
Eugene, half the washing machines are out of order. Because of this, I won't be able to finish our current load in time, and Beth will be forced to offer guests an apology discount. Please fix the machines before Bernard kills me. Rebecca.
Candles, candles, candles. I think Rebecca keeps a stash of them, but where? It's locked.
But I just can't find him. He's nowhere to be found. Gone. Disappeared. I don't know what on earth's going on here. Is it because of that goddamn snowstorm? Or was there something in the coffee this morning? What do you mean? Well, the whole staff's completely off. Josh leaving luggage carts everywhere. Wendy asking where they are. Beth. Oh, don't even get me started on Beth. Oh, and that maid. What's her name? Sylvie? I never noticed how odd she is.
Sophie, you mean? I like her. She's a good girl.
You know what? I should call the city. Tell them they don't need to build that new madhouse next door. There's one right here.
Oh, Bernard. It's not that bad. I'm here, aren't I? Come here. Let me help you forget about all that for a minute.
Off limits. Did I remember to punch in this morning? Where do you keep your candles, Reb? I guess I should check the locker room first. Tempting, but now's not the time to pick up smoking, Sophie.
I apologize. I'm not the one who should be apologizing.
You're such an idiot. I can't believe that I fell in love with you.
Wait,
What?
I want my mother's ring back.
There. I don't want to see it.
Have you heard there's a famous director staying in 602? Yes, I was there when he checked in. I don't know who he is, but he must be pretty important because Bernard was almost licking his boots. He even let the man bring his dogs in the hotel. Is he shooting a picture in Montreal? I've heard he's here on a scout, but I'm not sure what it means. Maybe he's making a picture on Boy Scouts. Do you think he'll shoot in the hotel? I hope he does. Imagine. We could meet famous actors like James Dean. Let's hope the director has supernatural powers, because Dean is very much dead. What? James Dean is dead?
Gotta hold on to these tight. Oh, another one. Wendy and Jacques have really gotten around. I'm good.
Rebecca, the VIP guest in 602, is getting on my nerves. He keeps ordering food that's not on the menu. We don't usually do special orders, but Bernard was adamant that we make all of his wishes come true. Do I look like a goddamn genie? That's not even the worst of it, though. Every night, he barges in the kitchen as if he was at home, asking for meat for his precious little Terrys. Who feeds dogs $4 roast beef? I can't even afford $4 roast beef for myself. Bobby.
It's locked. All right, we're getting somewhere. Now, to resist the temptation to spend it on a burger at Harry's. Open sesame? Nope, no luck. Didn't I find one of these in Anne's room too? The White Cat must be a popular spot. Are you looking to buy land? I know you grew up on a farm. Maybe you're looking to get back to nature. Wait, is this you, Beth? What on earth led to this picture being taken? Is that a live alligator? I think I'd die on the spot. Off limits. I should start by checking out Rebecca's locker. Is this a movie script? Stash uncovered. Reb, you won't mind if I just take one, right? Got a candle. Now, what next?
There you are.
I'm not sure I understand what the plan is here.
Well, when I was little, we had padlocks on many of the farm's sheds. My dad would always lose the keys, so one day he made a mold of them using wax and plaster. I was thinking of doing the same.
Are you sure it's gonna work?
Absolutely not. But hey, I guess we won't know until we try.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's do this. Okay, to start, we need to pour the wax from the pot. Have you done this before? You're a real pro. Now, time to put the key into the wax. Let's give it a few seconds, so the mold really takes form. Okay, I think you can remove it. Well, we're almost there. Just pour the cup of plaster into the mold. All right. Now we wait for it to dry.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
I don't know. I guess we'll keep poking it every now and then.
I bet you didn't think you'd be making a plaster key today, huh?
Indeed. But I like it. It's rare that this job allows me to use my creative side.
Your creative side.
Well, granted, this key won't end up in any museum, but I enjoy the occasional artistic endeavor.
Like posing with alligators?
How do you know about that?
Oh, I think it must have slipped out of your locker because I saw this picture of you in a long white dress and...
Oh my, you did? What did you think of it?
I loved it, actually. It was unique, I guess. Artistic?
Yeah. Those pictures were taken by a very close friend of mine a few years back. Ziva Rivers was her name. Earth-shattering talent, but a bit too controversial for most people's sensibilities.
Oh. Are you still friends?
No. We went our separate ways. It's a shame. She really captured me. My essence.
Your essence is to tame alligators?
My essence is to fear nothing.
Except for mice. I'm just kidding. I wish I was as fearless as you are.
I'm sure under that sweet exterior, you're pretty fearless too. Haven't you ever done something really scary? I mean, other than snooping on a potential creep.
Does sailing count?
Excuse me? You sail? On a boat?
I used to, with my grandpa. But when he died, we had to sell the boat to pay off his debts.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have loved to go with you.
Maybe it'd be possible to borrow a boat for a day. I think one of Grandpa's friends still has his.
Really? That would be great. I just love trying new things.
I'll see what I can do.
Hey, look. I think it's dry.
I can't believe it worked. I could not have done this without you.
Yeah, probably not. Well, I should get back upstairs before Bernard notices my absence. If he hasn't already. Let me know how it goes with the key. Oh, and be careful while turning it, okay? You wouldn't want it to break inside the lock.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Thank you for everything.
No problem.
Be careful, Sophie. You don't want this key to break. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles.
In Atlanta, I noticed yours was pretty worn down, so I decided to buy you a new one. I hope you like it. And since you enjoy them so much, here's a little puzzle to figure out the combination. 2 5-letter words are the key, both related to our history. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. From the first one, take the first 2. From the last one, take the last 2. I hope you get better. Try to rest today. I will bring you hot soup after class. M.
Huh. Marcella invited you to the movies. Let me guess. You said yes.
I can barely listen to Sister Miller's lecture today. In secret language, all I do is look at your lips and imagine kissing you. I can't wait for tonight. M.
Doris Day. That's an alliteration, isn't it? Doris. I-S.
August 11th, 1946. Dear End, I have just heard Doris Day on the radio, and it made me think of you. I know how much you love Sentimental Journey. Counting every mile of railroad track, that takes me back. Last time I was in Texas, it felt like coming home. Now, strangely, I feel away from home. I wish you were here with me. I always feel at home in your arms. I can hardly believe it has been 5 weeks since we last saw each other. Sometimes I wonder if I might be going crazy. You are always in my head. Everything reminds me of you, not only songs on the radio, but silly things like the flowers in our garden that smell of your shampoo, or when people say the word darling and I can hear you say it with your lovely French accent. Darling. My family seems to have noticed my odd behavior, but of course I cannot tell them about you, even though I wish I could. I feel like climbing on the roof of the tallest building in Austin and shouting my feelings for you at the top of my lungs. God, I sound like a giddy teenager in love for the first time. Maybe I am. Sometimes I am scared that all this time with you is nothing but a dream too good to be true. I am afraid that when I return to Montreal, I will realize you never existed, or if you do exist, you don't remember me. I wish I had a picture of the two of us, so I would know for sure it was real. I long for your embrace and the taste of your sweet lips. I love you. M. December 29th, 1947. Dear End, I am sorry it took me so long to answer your last letter. Has it been 6 months already since I left Montreal? As you always say, time flies so fast. My parents are glad I am done with my studies. They always thought it was a strange idea for me to go to university. Now they want me to find a husband and have children like any other woman. I think I will. These past few months, I had a lot of time to reflect on our relationship. You know my feelings for you, and I hope you never forget how much I love you. But we cannot hide our heads in the sand any longer. We were lucky our story lasted as long as it did, and it would be foolish to think it would last forever. Our love is forbidden, and hiding it from my family is proving more and more difficult every day. You will always have a special place in my heart, but believe it is time for us to go our separate ways. You made me feel like a teenager. You made everything but the present disappear. Now I need to be an adult and think about the future. Sincerely, M.
That riddle's a toughie. Maybe I need a fresh pair of eyes on it.
Clarington Hotel reception desk. Beth speaking.
Hey, Beth. Got a minute?
For you, always, Bean.
I opened the chest to room 507.
You did? Damn, I have to admit I didn't really believe in our little plaster key, but way to go.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised as well. It's quite sturdy.
So, spill it. What's in the chest?
A riddle.
A riddle?
I think it was written by Mrs. Beaumont for Mrs. Cruz. And I think the answer will give me the combination for a case I found in room 509. I could use your help with it, though.
Oh, God, I hate riddles. Well, let's hear it. Which part is causing you trouble?
Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Do you know what this could mean?
You said Mrs. Beaumont wrote the riddle, right?
Yeah, but I have no idea what her favorite bar is.
I think I do.
Really? How?
That's a story for another time. But if I had to bet, I'd put my money on the white cat.
The white cat. I think I get it.
Well, that wasn't too hard, was it? Is there anything else?
Here's another one. Her alliterative name will surely take you back.
Alliterative what now? Andrew, you're a nerd. What's alliterative?
Hey, just because I read books doesn't mean I know everything.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's a series of words that start with the same sound or letters.
Thank you, darling. Did you get that, Bean?
Yeah, I did. I think I know what to do.
You do? Great. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'm just glad I could be of some help. Call me after you've opened that case.
You know I will. A cat named Greta. G.R. So, GR from Greta and IS from Doris. Gree? Could that be the code for the case on the bed in 509? It's worth a try. That novelist, Bridget Boswell, is actually you, Marcella?
February 4th, 1956. Dear Marcella, or should I say Bridget? You know I prefer a good old crime story, but last week I came upon a romance novel with an intriguing title, and they were roommates. I bought it on an impulse at a train station and read it from cover to cover during the journey. Can you imagine my surprise when I recognized our story? You may have changed the names and locations, but all of our moments are there. Our endless discussions in the dorm room, our first date at the theater, our trip to Quebec City. You often said writers are thieves, but I never fully understood until now. It has been almost 10 years since I received your last letter. The letter that painted our relationship as nothing more than a summer fling. At first, I could not believe you had written those words. Then I waited in vain for your answer and had to accept your love for me had never been real. For many years, I was broken-hearted, angry, confused. I questioned the nature of our feelings, of our attraction, and made many wrong decisions. But this book, your book. Am I foolish to think it's proof you really loved me? In any case, I hope you are well, and I'm happy to see you accomplished your dream of becoming a writer. Sincerely, A.
Oh, Anne. Murder might be a bit much, but you deserve some kind of justice.
March 25th, 1956. Dear Marcella, I didn't expect you to reply to my letter, but I am happy to see I was wrong. Your words have comforted me in a time of great distress. If only Louis was half the man you say Hector is. He has quite a temper and hits me frequently. I am willing to put up with it as long as he doesn't hurt Michael, but there are some days when it becomes almost unbearable. The other day I dreamt of our first date. We were watching The Postman Only Rings Twice again, but suddenly we were in the movie. You were Lana Turner and I was John Garfield, and we were both plotting to kill my husband. I hate to admit it, but I almost hope it was premonitory. To answer your question, I do still have our box. My brother is currently in Atlanta for work, and I was thinking of going to see him with Michael next month. If you are able to meet me there, we could open the box together and laugh at the silly things we thought important all those years ago. I hope to hear from you soon. Sincerely, A. P.S. Do you remember that secret language we invented so Sister Miller couldn't understand the notes we passed during her class? In secret language, I still do.
I do like a happy ending. I just hope that's where your story is headed.
August 10th, 1957. Dear Marcella, thank you for sending me a signed version of your latest novel. I think it's your greatest work yet, but I do have a few comments to help make the next one even better. First, I believe Rose should be more concerned with what she deserves than what her husband deserves. He may not deserve the pain she will cause by leaving him, but they both deserve to be happy, and they won't be as long as they remain together, as long as she doesn't listen to her needs. Also, I think it would be great if your next novel ended on a more positive note. Imagine if Rose left her husband and rode into the sunset with Eve. Imagine if they went to New York or Los Angeles, someplace where people like us are tolerated. Imagine if they got to have their happy ending. It would be the best story ever. I hope you will consider it. P.S. I know you say invisibility protects us, but don't you just wish to be seen sometimes? Wouldn't you like people to know you are Bridget Boswell, to recognize you on the street, to recognize you for your work? Why not publish your next novel under your own name?
Oh, so you came to Montreal under the pretense of celebrating your wedding anniversary, but all along, you meant to reunite with Anne.
January 13th, 1958. Dear Marcella, I left the house. I left Louis. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't lie anymore. How do you do it? How do you manage to live a double life, to hide your work and your novels from your husband? I had so much less to hide, and yet. Michael and I are staying at the Clarington Hotel until we find a place to stay and the divorce is done. I don't know how long it will take. Could you come and see me in Montreal? I really need you by my side right now. Sincerely, A. P.S. I wouldn't put it past Louis to scour every hotel guest book in the region looking for me under his surname, so I've registered under the name Beaumont.
After all this, turns out you're a fan of Bridget? Of Marcella? That's a lot sweeter than I expected.
September 27th, 1957. Dear Marcella, although you don't know me, I think I can safely say I'm your biggest fan. Your novels have literally changed my life. After the war, I spent almost 10 years in a psychiatric hospital because of panic attacks. None of the treatments were working, and I wasn't getting any better. I became friends with one of the nurses, who started lending me books so I could pass the time. I didn't really like the first ones, but then I picked up Bridget Boswell's first novel. Your novel. I had never read such beautiful love story. It almost brought tears to my eyes. I immediately urged the nurse to get me more of your books. Believe it or not, the more I read them, the less panic attacks I had. The doctors thought it was their new medication finally working, but I knew the truth. Your novels gave me the courage to get in contact with Lindsay, a friend from the war. I had always felt for him the same way your characters feel for each other, but I had never dared telling him. Now I have, thanks to you. The thought of seeing him again is what motivated me to get better and leave the hospital. I hope to hear back from him soon. After my discharge, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me. I've discovered Bridget was a pseudonym, so tracking you down took longer than I thought. Fortunately, I am a very patient and resourceful man, and I never give up. Do you think we could meet? I have so much more to tell you. Paul.
I'm glad you were able to open up to Marcella like this. Everyone needs someone to talk to.
November 8th, 1957. Dear Marcella, thank you for answering my letter. I realize now how unsettling it must have been for you. Please forgive me for tricking your editor into giving me your address. I know I shouldn't have done that. I wanted to thank you as well for your encouraging words concerning Lindsay. I still haven't heard from him, and I'm starting to fear I might have the wrong address. I wish I could take a train to Virginia, but that's not an option right now as I can barely pay for rent. I guess I will have to find a job. As a kid, I dreamt of being an actor, a Hollywood star. I know it's a foolish dream, but what else can I do? What am I good at? I've tried getting some odd jobs already, but employers turn me down as soon as they learn where I've spent the last 10 years of my life. If it continues like this, I'll probably end up on the street like so many of my army buddies. Why am I even telling you all this? After reading your books and getting to know you through them, I tend to forget I'm only a stranger to you. I hope you don't mind. You seem to be a good listener, and I've been feeling rather lonely ever since I left the hospital. Anyway, please tell me more about your life, and do not hesitate to write long letters. I must have read your previous one 1,000 times already. Paul.
An advance on my salary. So Marcella hired you. But what for?
December 5th, 1957. Dear Marcella, I've just received a letter from Lindsay's mother. She tells me he's dead. Words cannot even begin to describe how empty I feel. He died 2 years ago, before I even sent my first letter. He will never know my feelings for him, and I will never know if he could have loved me back. I guess I should have known this would end in pain, just like your novels. I wish I had Lindsay's ability to find beauty everywhere. Even during the war, amidst the death and chaos, he would marvel at the forests of Germany, at the sun, the birds. He loved birds so much. He could identify them just by listening to their song. I have to admit your proposition took me by surprise. I was hesitant to leave home at first. I was afraid to miss Lindsay's answer, but now there's nothing keeping me here. I'm desperate for anything that will help me forget the pain, but I don't have enough money to make it to Texas. Do you think you could give me an advance on my salary? In spite of everything, I'm really excited to know I'll finally meet you. Paul.
Oh, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, I guess it was presumptuous of me to think otherwise. So the symbols I've been deciphering, you invented them back in the day to keep your love secret. That feels really special.
So, let me get this straight. Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz are some kind of star-crossed lovers?
Seems like it, yeah. But I'm not sure whether they chose to meet here just to reconnect for a few days, or if there's something more to it.
Well, I may be able to help with that.
Really? How?
Oh, some mail arrived earlier for Mrs. Beaumont.
I wonder what's in it.
We could open it.
I mean, that's kinda illegal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, too late. I've always known I would end up in prison one day.
So?
It's 3 train tickets. And, there's a tourism pamphlet for California.
California.
Well, it makes sense. It's much more progressive there than it is here.
So, Anna and Marcella want to go there to live their love freely.
Anne and Marcella, huh? You 3 are best pals now?
Well, after reading so much of their correspondence, I kind of feel like I know them, you know?
Yeah. But what about Mr. Morgan, though? I mean, Paul. How does he fit into all of this?
Turns out he's a big fan of Marcella.
Is she a celebrity or something?
Remember that Pulp Fiction I found in Paul's room? Well, she wrote it under a pseudonym. I think her books gave Paul a chance to get out of his own head while he was staying in a psychiatric hospital.
Huh, I see. He's still kind of a creep, though. Couldn't he have stuck to fan mail? Stalking her like that? That's going too far. And why did he have those pictures of you, anyway?
I guess we'll never know for sure, but I don't think it was ever about me.
It's always been about Anne and Marcella.
Exactly.
Well, it feels a tad anticlimactic, but who needs drama, right?
At least it made our day pretty interesting.
It sure did. You know, after today, I think I get why you're so interested in the lives our guests lead. I try to forget they exist as soon as I'm done interacting with them. But once in a while, it's nice to remember that, well, even the most put-together person could be an absolute mess on the other side of the door.
What about you? Who is Beth Lambert when no one's looking?
I like to think that with me, what you see is what you get. But maybe an extra Snoopy super sleuth could uncover a few more layers. Maybe ones I didn't even know I had.
Challenge accepted.
Come see me when your shift ends, all right? We could leave together if you want.
Sure. If we're able to. With all that snow, I'm thinking maybe we'll have no choice but to spend the night here.
Ooh, a sleepover. We could set up a pillow fort on the mezzanine.
A pillow fort? We do work in a hotel, you know. There are actual beds here.
I know, but isn't my way so much more fun?
Well, we could take a page out of Michael's book and decorate it, and then spend the night throwing stuff at Bernard whenever he comes through the lobby.
Oh, now you're talking.
I just have to finish my tasks for the day, and then I can leave.